Good morning, everyone. It's Luna Bell. Y'all, I thought those of you who listen to my story, you'll realize that I'm starting to remember more and more about my own childhood, more and more of my own true memories. And I'm beginning to understand more and more about how the MK Ultra and GATE programs affected my own life and that of my own children. Now, that story is emerging as I speak my own truth and all. But y'all, what I don't think many people realize, and I myself didn't realize, and it keeps popping up, are two words: mind control. If MK was geared toward exploring the psychic gifts and abilities, and I can tell you that I have not reached a tenth of my potential. There's so many, y'all, if there was that much interest back then and that much knowledge back then. But I keep mentioning here recently about the American dream, what was sold to the American dream, to the poor of America. How did they come up in the world, many of them? How did many men back in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s, and the 60s, and so on and so forth, until this day? How do we get a leg up in the world? The military. And see, people like my mama, she's beyond Munchausen by proxy, y'all, if y'all hadn't realized that serial nature. Well, aren't they like, what do they call those? Handlers? If you have people like that in a program that use pain as much as possible and the gift of witchcraft, they use their knowledge. We have those secret societies and whatnot that get involved, don't we? People like my mama are useful to them and encouraged in many instances, allegedly. Now, I can tell you, my mama was always living around a military base. More often than not, well, she was Silver Service and worked her way up. She was very educated, had a major in business, did contracting for the government, allegedly. She also minored in psychology. It helps to know you pray. Now, Mama was very productive. She had 5 kids of her own. I'm being reminded of the allowances and all, the BAQ and whatnot. Kind of increases, doesn't it? Benefits or whatnot. See, I remember a lot of Mama, the men that she would be involved with, or that she, y'all, these are all stories from my own personal perspective for entertainment purposes only, allegedly, that she would traffic me to, and the others as well. Many high-ranking officers in foreign militaries, our own, like a certain colonel in the Army who was a dentist back in, well, over by Columbus, Georgia. You know that base there. Matter of fact, there was a dental clinic that had a sub-basement. They called it the sub-basement. A facility. Had a lot of records. My mother took samples from most kids every morning. All 5 of us would line up. She'd sit up in a chair at the kitchen table and take our blood the red stuff and, bodily samples. kept them in the refrigerator. Never had food in that bitch, but we had bodily samples from all 5 kids. My mama's a witch, too. Her second husband was an officer as well. Though he was young when my mama and daddy, well, my daddy was an officer with his daddy when my mama met her future second husband. Disturbance in the nest there, apparently. Anyhow, you see the patterns. I bet there are others who have similar stories like mine, with parents that back in the 60s and 70s were in the military and perhaps they divorced or whatnot. Many of us, like my late husband, had families with military backgrounds. We were military families. We were born in green diapers. We were part of the American dream. Or is it? Or was it the American nightmare? Many blessings to you. Blessed be. That's been my experience with MK Ultra. Except it's far worse in detail. Confirmation